Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my mid-year book freakout tag. I don't know, I see it both ways. I don't know what it's called. I will link the creators of this tag down below, and I did take a couple questions that are just on Books and Lala's video. I think she added some, so I just want to say that because there are some that I don't think are on the original. Oh my god, why does this not last? Okay, this light better not freaking die again. So let's just get into it. I don't remember why I got it cut off last time, so. And definitely feel free to comment down below your answers to this question, or if you've already made a video for this or going to, make sure to tag me in them because I want to watch them. So far my reading goal this year was 50 books. I think I usually put it around that just to make it not easy for me, but like doable. I'm currently at 28 books, which is good because it's more than halfway through the year, but I would have liked to have read more because I have so many freaking books on my TBR that it's like I need to read a lot in a year. And to be fair, a lot of the books that I've read this year have been audiobooks that haven't actually been on my physical TBR, so I don't even think I haven't read that many off of my physical TBR. Anyway, let's start off with a fun one. Favorite book of 2024 so far. And I did all these answers last night, and there are like a lot of repeating books because I feel like I haven't read that many like amazing books this year, like that many that I'm like super in love with, which like sucks in a way, but there's been a lot of like good books, just not like favorites, but I do have one, and that is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V. Schwab. This one I read in February finally, and I listened to the audiobook and I loved it. Like, I totally get the hype of why everyone loves this one, and I'm so glad I finally got to it. I have like the special Indigo edition, which I think is same to the Barnes and Noble edition, but it's just like a beautiful story. Like super sad but super happy, and makes you think a lot about life and everything. So I really enjoyed this one, and again, the audiobook is really good. This has been my favorite book of this year so far, and you will see this come back up in this video. The best sequel I've read in 2024 so far. I have not read that many sequels. Actually, that's a lie. I have finished a few series, which is really good for me because like I tend to not do that. But a lot of the sequels have been like 4 stars, good, but not like great, or some 3 stars. But I did read a 5-star one, and that's Crimson River by Devney Perry. This is the 5th book in the... Okay, I'm sorry, the lighting is gonna change because I'm gonna go absolutely bonkers with this stupid light. Anyway, this one is the 5th book in the Eden series. So we follow the Eden siblings in Quincy, Montana. Each book is a different sibling. And this one we follow Lila, who is like obsessed with her job. That's her like main thing, and her family is worried about like how she doesn't have a life basically outside of this job. So her family makes her take this day off. They'll watch the coffee shop for her, and she decides to take a hike. And on this hike, she's attacked by this man and almost killed, but he lets her live. That shakes up her whole world. And because of the police report that was made for this, it brings another guy to Quincy. His name is, why can't I think of it right now? Vance Sutter, and he has been looking for this man for a very long time now. Noticeable scar on his face, the one that almost killed Lila, that makes Vance know that this is who he's been looking for. Vance and Lila start spending a lot of time together due to the fact that he is looking for this man, and this man attacked Lila, and so a romance sparks there as they're trying to find this man and bring him to justice. I really like the ones in this series that have a big crime focus, and this one and Indigo Ridge I would say are the 2 that have the most of a crime focus, and they're my 2 favorites. So it brought me back to the beginning of the series, which I really liked. Third question is genre you've been loving / reading the most. And I have been reading a lot of romance, but recently I've been getting back into my mystery thriller era. I don't know, mystery thrillers have always been my favorite, but I feel like I haven't been reading them that much or like loving them that much. So it feels nice over the last couple, probably last 2 months, month and a half, I've been reading them again and enjoying them again, because I was reading so many at the beginning of the year and the end of last year where I was just listening to audiobooks, and I was like feeling very meh about a lot of them. And so it's nice to get back onto the loving train of these mystery thrillers. New release you haven't read yet but want to. I have not bought that many books this year, and a lot of them aren't that new, or they came out at like the end of last year. A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen, and I have one of these Sprayed Edges editions, and it's signed. So, you know, I had to pick it up. This one is a fantasy book that's been getting a lot of attention on Book Talk and BookTube, and I think it has had like mixed reviews, but I am excited to try it out. I don't actually know what this is about, to be completely honest, and I think I might want to keep it that way to a certain extent, so I am gonna not read the synopsis, but it's had mixed reviews, but I know people like really love it, so I think it'll be a fun one to get to, and it's one of my only like new releases that I've picked up. The most anticipated release for the second half, I meant to do some more research last night on this. I feel like I don't have that many that I know about that are for sure coming out this year, so I actually think I want to do like a video of upcoming releases in the second half of the year that I want to read, because I feel like I'm very bad at keeping up to date with what's coming out. And so I just put the one that I have on pre-order, which is The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the newest book. Actually, it's the start of a new series. I was gonna say it's the newest book in the Inheritance Games series, but it's actually the start of the new series, which is a spin-off, I believe, of the Inheritance Games. And I have already pre-ordered the Indigo exclusive edition of that one. So I'm excited to get to that when that comes out. And honestly, that's one of the only ones that I like could even think of right away. So I'm sure there's more. So let me know down below some of your anticipated releases, and I should do some more research. Biggest disappointment. Do I even have it on my shelf still? That one is Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead. And if you know me, if you've watched my videos, you might know how big of a disappointment this is, because I loved her other two mystery thrillers, In My Dreams I Hold a Knife and The Last Housewife. In My Dreams I Hold a Knife is one of my favorite books. And so this was extremely disappointing for me. It was just so boring, and so like I was not interested in it like at all when listening to it. I didn't think any of the twists were very good. I just was like so sad. I just don't even think I liked the concept to begin with. Well, in theory, I would. It's like in a really religious town where they're like God-fearing. Then there's like rumors of the Low Man, a vampiric figure said to steal into sinners' bedrooms and kill them on moonless nights. A skull is found deep in the swamp next to mysterious carved symbols. Bottom Springs is thrown into an uproar, and Ruth realizes only she and Everett, an old friend with a dark past, have the power to comb the town's secret underbelly in search of the true evil. It's just weird and like not at all what I wanted it to be or like expected it to be or anything. It was super disappointing for me, to the point that I am unhauling it eventually. So biggest surprise, I put one I don't own, so let's talk about that one first. I have The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I just listened to this audiobook on a whim, decided to listen to it, and I really enjoyed it, and it was my first Frida McFadden, and that is why it was a surprise for me, because I know people really like her books, but I was scared that she was getting way too hyped. And I think some people didn't like this one because they've read so many of her books that the twists weren't twisting the way that they wanted them to, because her books are starting to get predictable because of the way she writes, if that makes any sense. So for me, it was really good. I really enjoyed, obviously, it's a really dark topic, and you have to know that going into it, because I know I read reviews where people were like, this was too much for me. I really don't like this topic. But you know what you're getting into if you read the synopsis. So at least read the synopsis and you will kind of get an idea of what the triggers will be. Because I really, like, obviously it's dark, so it's weird to say I enjoyed this book, but the twists and the turns and the darkness was a really interesting aspect to me. So I was surprised that I enjoyed it as much as I did. But then I also have I Kissed Charlotte Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. And the reason this one was a surprise to me is because I started reading it a year ago and I put it down and had no urge to pick it back up for a really long time until like the last couple months that I wanted to. And I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was really fun. Cute little side mystery in this, romance and like coming of age. I really do enjoy coming of age books and films, so this was exactly what I wanted. It just surprised me because I did not want to pick this one back up for so long, so I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. The next question is newest favorite author, and I did have a hard time with this because I haven't really read anyone new that I've like kept reading, so I kind of twisted it, and I am picking Devney Perry, which these are all her books that I have so far of hers. It's just the Eden series, and I did read 2 books of hers and in this series last year, but continuing this series has just solidified how much I really like her and like made it more concrete. And then I read the last 4 books within like 5 months of the year, so that's good. And it makes me want to pick up more of her books, and there is a new one that came out, Crossroads, that I really want to read. My new favorite character is Addie from Addie LaRue. While she has flaws and makes the wrong decision sometimes, I feel like she was just so human, even though she was immortal, and was just like someone that you could relate to in many ways. Like the struggle within her, I have a hard time relating, like I don't end up falling in love with like a lot of different characters, so this question was kind of hard, and she was the only one that like stuck out to me. What did I just say? She's the only one that stuck out to me when I was trying to figure out which character to pick. So I don't know, I think it just is also to do with the whole concept of the book, everything that played out, that makes her one of my favorite characters. But I might as well keep this up because for the next question, this is the answer as well. Book that made you cry. Come on, this is a tearjerker. I didn't cry that much, but there were tears in my eyes, so it's just such a beautiful book, but also just so sad and heart-wrenching. I don't know, you just have to read it to know, but it's so good and so sad and happy and all of the things. But there's also If I Stay, and I knew I was gonna cry. I didn't cry a lot in this one either, I don't think. I think I just teared up, but I knew I was gonna do that in this one because I've watched the movie, loved the movie. One of the first movies that made me cry was this one. I wasn't gonna take this whole series out for any of the video, but I've got to. The next one is Book That Made You Happy, and this whole series just makes me so happy. There's also another novella in this. There's 2 novellas, but I only read one of them this year, so I guess I shouldn't be carrying these, but because I read these 2 last year. But this whole series just makes me really happy. The family aspect of all of them, and just the love that all of these characters have for each other romantically, but also the family wise and found family. It's beautiful, and I love this series, and I'm really sad that I'm done with it, but I am happy I have read all of them, you know? It's bittersweet. Another honorable mention, I Kissed Charlotte Wheeler, as I mentioned. It just made me really happy, and I thought it was like a beautiful story of coming of age, finding yourself, finding, again, found family, kind of like finally letting people in and seeing you for who you really are. It was beautiful. And so as I mentioned, I haven't bought that many books this year yet, so the next one is Most Beautiful Book Bought So Far, and you probably can guess, A Fate Inked in Blood. The beautiful sprayed edges, the beautiful cover. I love the blue color, so this is by far the most beautiful one that I've bought so far. What books do I need to read by the end of the year? And so I need to I need to prioritize more my 24 and 2024. I need to update what I've read on that. Because I've read some, but not a lot. And then I just filmed my These Books Will Self-Destruct list for the next year. And obviously I'll have until this time next year to read those. But I would like to do a big chunk of them this year. Mainly those, just books on my physical TBR are ones that I need to read by the end of the year. I don't have that many specific ones. My favorite video I've posted so far this year is my 24-hour timer challenge video. I just really like doing those challenges and I have a lot of fun with those, and I ended up reading a lot of good books, including Addie LaRue, If I Stay. My favorite book community members, I'm just gonna name 3 just to like keep it short and sweet, but there are so many that like that's why I'm literally naming 3, but like I could have a huge list. So first is Cassidy from Covers with Cassidy. It helps that we have the same first name. Just kidding. But she always just makes really fun content, and I always look forward to watching her videos, so much so that I joined her Patreon. I got a lot of inspiration from her videos. Steph from Once Upon a Bookish, Steph, who just finally starting posting again recently in the last couple months, so I'm really happy that she's back to posting, and I always love her videos as well. And then finally Emily from McGinnis Mama. She has a really fun TBR game and I really enjoy all of her videos, and so I will link the 3 of them down below. And again, tag your favorite creators down below so I can find more, or anyone else in the comments or watching this video can find some more creators to watch and support. And if you make videos yourself, make sure to like promote yourself in the comments, please. Anyways, those are all of the questions for the mid-year book tag. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully, I'm really hoping my second half is a little bit more successful than the first half, because like I said, a lot of them were like 3-4 stars. I feel like I've given out maybe 3 5 stars, and that's not normal for me because I feel like I give out so many 5 stars normally. Like, it's candy, like I don't care. I just haven't felt them this year, so hopefully I have a lot more in the second half. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and give it a big thumbs up. Both those will mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!